hello. Hello and welcome. You join me, ADG, and here we are for NxtGen Racing's Group 3 Championship, race 3. 50-minute endurance tonight at Nurbergring GP. Come on, Sean. He's already got a cheer of Sean from Adam Sage. Already joining, mate. Just get set up, make sure I'm all ready, and we'll get into it. Looking forward to this one. I like the endurance races, they're good. Potentially, anyway, depending on how it goes. That's the nature of racing. I'll put it on standard for now. Right, what's going on then? This is the last little bit of practice just before qualifying starts, so we have a 15-20 minute qualifying session. Forgive me, I do that much racing, I completely forget what's going on in all these different leagues. Just turn up and hope for the best and hope I don't get it too wrong. But yeah, I think it's 20-minute qualifying in this one. It's certainly 15 minutes anyway. Such a professional, I know. This championship is sponsored by Team Oliver Racing as well, or as you will see on the cars, it's got the stickers all over. Well, not that particular car actually, but awesome say that. Got the Team Oliver Racing Tour stickers all over the car, and Excite stickers as well to represent our sponsors, Excite Energy Drinks and Team Oliver Racing. Here we go. I think this is going to be qualifying now, so timed it nicely. Those that have just joined, good evening, Burnt Fry. Burnt Fry is in there racing, so he joins. I can give you some handy information if you play your cards right, Burnt Fry. Good luck demo from Marriott. Cheers for joining, guys. Hopefully we have a good one. Good bit of action to watch. Been a good start to the season. The first two rounds have been really good. We've had an endurance to start with, and then the second round was 2 sprint races, so it's been really quite fun so far. What the hell's that? I've got an extra box in my screen. There we go, it's sorted itself out. What is going on? Changing the room. It's just changing the time of day. That's right. There is set up on in this championship. I will remind you, if you've not joined before as well, then I'll give you a bit of a lowdown. Everyone's in the Group 3 cars. There's actually not BOP on. The organisers of the championship have worked out their own BOP system that they think's a little bit fairer to bring the cars a little bit closer. So it's actually off, and the guys have got a list of what they need to use for that particular car, determined by what the organisers have decided. So there's that, and then there's the tyres. They have to use all 3 tyre compounds in this race, so they have to use soft, medium and hard, so that makes it interesting as well. I'm not sure if they start with a full tank. I think they do in the endurance races, but they don't in the sprint races. Right, so we're in qualifying. I'll stop waffling on, but yeah, hopefully that gives you some kind of idea of what's going on. There's tuning on as well, or setup, so the guys are free to do as much setup work as they choose to, and tune the car in through the week. Obviously you've got a full week in between the races, so it's quite a lot of time to be able to tune into the next track. Well, depending on, obviously it's not the same for everyone, but depending on how much time you get to jump on and practice. So everyone's out, and Gnarly Pop's leading the pack away in first at the moment. He will be the first across the line to start his first fast lap. Everyone just looking to find a position nice and close to the guy in front to get as much slipstream as possible. Important stuff in qualifying, as you well know. Those racing fans out there, and I'm guessing you won't be watching if you're not a racing fan. Good luck, guys, from Steve Hills. Good evening, Steve. Don't like this track, Burnt Fry, give over. First corner's a bit of a nightmare, I'll give you that, but and the last chicane, and the last corner. Yeah, I see what you mean. No, I don't mind it. It is a bit of a nightmare though. I do completely understand where you're coming from. Right, so let's jump on board. Nally is now coming towards the start-finish line. He's actually pulled a bit of a gap to the guys behind, so lucky bucket, won't be getting much of a slipstream off him now. There's no incredibly long straight on this track really on Nurbergring GP. If I've not mentioned it already, that's where the guys are racing. Be quite familiar to you, no doubt, as it's used in F1 and various other categories of motorsport. I hate it when I say stuff like that. I proper doubt myself. Like, is it still used? I don't know, because there's no championship going on. So let's see how Gnarly Pop's going. Going through the first chicane. It's a tricky little section of track. We'll jump on board with... let's put a bit of pressure on Burn Pricing as though you'll be listening. No, it's a bit unfair. I'll leave him alone. Jump on board with someone on the next lap round and talk through the full lap and the struggles and the little issues that you can pick up here and there on this lap, on this track. Whoa, loads of understeer there for Cutler, trying to get it turned in, miss the apex by a mile. It's not too bad, you can late apex that corner, so it's not that big a deal, but it's not ideal. Sean sat in the pits, Tiny Tortoise sat in the pits, and Gums is sat in the pits. So Gums is coming out now, but seems a bit strange. Sean and Tiny Tortoise on the hard tyre as well, which is not ideal in qualifying, obviously. Maybe they're not going to qualify, and they're just going to, excuse me, they're just going to stay on the hard tyre and use a different, excuse me again, sorry. Different strategy. Right, where are we? Let's have a look at the times that are coming in. The Gnarly Pop coming over the line. Sets a 1:55.977. Damien comes over the line with a 1:55.110. Armin puts it in second place for NGR in with a 1:59.428. But that's massively off. Well, it's over 3.5 seconds slower. There's no two ways of saying that. It's Gnarly Pop's set a good lap there by the look of it. But I'm not sure what's going on here, because if you look at the lap times, they're actually faster than the fastest lap that's been set. So typical old Gran Turismo. I'm not quite sure what's going on. It can be a bit dodgy at times. So yeah, for example there on Burnt Fry it says he's done a 1:54.795, but yet in the bottom left hand corner it says, oh not bottom left hand corner, on the left hand side it says fastest lap Gnarly Pop 1:55.977, so never quite understand that. So there you go. Just skip through and see what's going on. These guys are all bunched up, slipstreaming each other. Not necessarily what you want to be doing during qualifying, trying to overtake each other. Cars are looking brilliant this season, it's got to be said again. And with the Team Oliver Racing and Excite energy drink stickers on as well, it just does. They look the part. We're good. Just as much effort goes into the liveries from some guys as it does the racing. Everyone coming towards the end of the second flying lap. Might see a few pit stops because it's quite a long lap. You don't want to be running too many laps on your worn tyres, because unless you're confident you're going to improve, or you're setting purple sectors all the way through, it's not the wisest thing to do. So it looks like Gumsy, Tiny Tortoise and Sean have finally joined us out of the pits now. Yet to put times in. Pigsy with that incredibly colourful livery, you can't miss him. Neutron Storm. in 9th at the moment, struggling to find the pace of the guys up front, and quite a way off. Hope he doesn't mind me saying. It's an observation, not an insult. So I'm really surprised if this is actually, it feels like something's wrong here and it's not working properly. Yeah. Oh no, that seems a bit more realistic now. So 56.027 from Burnt Fry. It's incredibly close, in fact. It's 0.05 of a second slower than Gnarly Pop in first. So another lap later on with fresh tyres and lower fuel, he can certainly look to improve, but obviously Gnarly Pop and everyone else is in the same position by that point as well. Purple by over a second. Nice. Burnt Fry on it here. He's not feeling his tyre wear. He's on the softs, obviously. Most of the guys towards the top definitely will be. Still wheel racing in third. Pretty decent timing so far. He's not far off at all either. Now we've got quite a big gap to Damien, but still doing a good job putting it in fourth at the moment. Go through all the way. Gumsy in fifth. Now we've got a few lap times set. Pilgrim Paddy in sixth. Chasing Neutron Storm from the slipstream. Coming into the tricky last corner. I always try and get as close to that barrier as I dare, but it can bite you if you get it wrong. Armin in 8th. I did say I was going to jump on board, so I'll do that in a second. Completely forgot. Cutler in 9th at the moment. Bigsy in 10th. Tiny Tortoise still yet to set a fast lap, so we'll watch him come over the line, see where he puts it. And he's in 11th. Oh, it's not the best lap of his life there, I dare say. Sean F1 84 in 12th. Yet to set his fast lap as well, so we'll jump back to him in a minute and see what he manages to do. So yeah, there's quite a big gap between well, in fact the gap's massive to everyone now. Now Burnt Fry's put that lap in. We saw him on that purple sector and he's done an absolute peach and finished it off, and he's 1.128 seconds faster than second place Gnarly Pop, which was our provisional pole sitter early on. This is qualifying, by the way, not into the race yet, so thank you for joining me. We'll be underway in about 6 minutes, I believe. Or there might be a little bit of a break in between. I think there's a few minutes break in this. So, as we see Burnt Fry coming, typical, we'll jump on board with who was that in front of him? Gnarly Pop. So we'll jump on board with Gnarly Pop and go for a lap with Gnarly Pop. And I'll kind of talk you through the track if you're not familiar with it. I don't want to patronise people because I'm guessing most people that end up watching this are really familiar with these tracks. Anyway, heavy braking into T1. You start braking roughly where the curb starts on the left hand side. Gets it nicely chucked in. Hits the second apex. You've just got to be careful through there. It's quite a slow corner really, you've got to be hesitant. It's a bit off camber, so it's really easy to go wide as well if you plant your foot a bit too early. Just hooking it up through the apexes, taking as much curb as possible, running it wide on the exit through the slow chicane. Doing a good job so far, and he is purple as well, so there's potentially a pole lap is this. It's a good one to watch. Hopefully he can keep it nice and neat and tidy. Whoa, he might have just touched the gravel there with the outside left-hand tyres, but I don't think it'll have really slowed him down. It would have just been a touch if he did, but using all of the track. Again, that looked nice and neat and tidy. Good exit as well. Not purple anymore, but he's up on his fastest lap. He's up on his personal best so far. Nice fast corners those two, and then you just want to chuck it in, hit the apex here, and again you don't really want to run it too wide there, so you can pull it right over to the left hand side to open up this fast right hander. So going through there quite conservatively. Because of that, he didn't get the perfect line through there, but that's for in my opinion, that's everyone's entitled to their own lines, obviously. Hits the last chicane absolutely perfectly there. Brilliant driving through there. shows us how to do it. And then coming through the last corner, nails it on the throttle, not too early, so it doesn't suffer with understeer and brings it to the line for a 155.276, so a brilliant lap actually. And he's a lot closer to Burnt Fry now. Even if he don't manage to get that pole position, Gnarly Pop, that'll certainly give him a lot more confidence than the lap time Burnt Fry put in before compared to him. Excuse me. Stair wheel racing in third. Let's jump to the exterior camera again. Damien doing a cracking job in fourth still. Neutron Storm in fifth, so he's had a big improvement through this session. If you look at his lap times on the right hand side, and he's ended up so far with his personal best is a 156.871, and yeah, he can be proud of that. He's, I believe, from what being told, he's quite a young lad, so it's good to see. I think he's 17 or something like that, so it's quite good to see like a young lad coming into it, because from my experience, a lot of the guys that do this and have the wheels and they get really into it and everything are generally a little bit older. Obviously there's no restriction on age, it could be 6 and be really good, but generally it does seem that they're a little bit older, most drivers, so good to see a younger driver joining us in their championship. You'd think they'd be all over it, these young'uns, but they don't seem to be. Not with a wheel and everything anyway. I guess they can't always afford those kind of things when they're that young. So Damien's improved. And Neutron Storm's improved. Has someone gone in the pits? Someone dived back into the pits? Oh yeah, Gnarly Pop's gone back out, so his time will re-register when he comes back out. So yeah, that's not an issue. He will come back onto the leaderboard, will Gnarly Pop, once he crosses over the first sector line. So Burnt Fry at this point with another purple lap, and it's a 154.686. He's nailing these laps, and now the fuel's dropped off on that M6, he's able to just show everyone up, quite frankly. He's 1.3 seconds faster now. I know it was Gnarly Pop that was in second place, so he might be a little bit closer when he gets his time back up there. But still, that's a hell of a gap in racing. So maybe he's done the tune of his life on the car this week, and oh, there we go. Gnarly Pop's times jumped back up, so he's 8 tenths off or thereabouts. Oh, sorry, 6 tenths off. Looking at the wrong one. So yeah, it's quite a big gap, is that? Let's have a look at everyone else before we get underway. We're pretty close to starting. Well, we're pretty close to ending qualifying. We'll see if there's a bit of a break. I don't think there will be. Sometimes it seems to be, sometimes not, so it depends. Lucky Bucky, we're not really, I don't really feel like I've said his name, not really spoken about him much. In his bright pink liveried, it looks really good to be fair, since it's got a lot of pink on it, and I'm not the biggest fan of pink, but yeah, he's made it look good. No surrender on the back as well, good little saying when you're racing. Oh bloody hell, I'm so bad at looking at the chat. I've just looked down and there's about 100 messages I've missed, not 100, but over exaggeration by a mile. Eddie G from CJW. How's it going, mate? I'm uploading the second replay. I won't have a chance to actually post it, but if you want to watch it later, it'll be up. I'll post it after this, obviously. Evening Eddie from Billy. Good evening, Billy. Nice of you to join me, mate. And yeah, how's things with you then, kiddo? Good if you're referring to me. Thank you very much. CJW, yeah, I hope CJW is good as well if you're referring to him. Sometimes you can misread these messages a little bit. I do anyway. Oh, right. So Burnt Fry's pulled over. I think qualifying, I'm sure it's 15 minutes, but it has gone on for 16.5 minutes now, so it's making me doubt myself. Could be a 20-minute qualifying session this. Yeah, it says qualifying session over, so it's a bit of a random time to finish it. Is 16 minutes 38. And it doesn't stop anyone actually finishing it, because look, Gnarly Pop's just driving around to finish this lap off now. Unfortunately, he's not really going to improve because he's got his, because he went back in the pits, he's got fuel on again. Steer wheel, on the other hand, might be able to improve, and the other guys behind as well might be able to. So let's quickly go through the order before we go, actually get to the start of the race. We've got Burnt Fry in provisional pole, Gnarly Pop in second, Steer Wheel Racing in third, Armin in fourth, Neutron Storm in fifth, Cutler in sixth, Damien in seventh, Lucky Bucky in eighth, Gumsy in ninth, Pilgrim Paddy in 10th, Sean in 11th, and I'll finish that off in just a second when it shows me. Looking forward to this. Hopefully everyone gets a good start. T1 can be an absolute nightmare, so hopefully everyone gets through safely, and then at least you can start thinking about building the race from that point. If you have a disaster at T1, then you're in for a hell of a race in a 50-minute endurance race. So we've got Sean F1 in 11th, Big Z in 12th, and Tiny Tortoise in 13th. We'll jump back up to our pole sit at Burnt Fry as we watch the lights. The revs are rising, and away we go. The lights are out. Whoa, a lot of wheel spin from a lot of cars there. Quite a bit of smoke going on. So Gnarly Pop jumped Burnt Fry to take first place, heading into the first corner. Everyone behind coming through. I can't really see. Oh, a bit of contact there from Cutler. Looked like he just got a bit of oversteer going. Managed to come right across the track. I think there was a little bit of contact on someone, but he's not taking anyone out, crucially. That was lucky when you come across the track like that. Right, I'm going to got to exit briefly so I can mix up the camera angles. Sorry about that. Let's go a bit further. Oh, what was that? Oh, Lucky Bucky just getting it all wrong over the curb there. Behind as well, we've got Tiny Tortoise and Cutler. Cutler will be looking to make his way back through now. He's had a bit of a mare in the first opening little couple of corners. Let's go on board with our leader. Burnt Fry in first. Steel Wheel Racing in the second now. Gnarly Pop's dropped down into third now. We've got a right battle going on behind by the look of it, with Neutron Storm racing for NGR. Armin behind him racing for NGR as well. And then Gumsy in sixth, looking very feisty to get past in the AMG. Manages to get a good exit, but he's on the outside for the next one. Can he keep the momentum going? Oh, good move there from Armin. Sorry, no, that's Gumsy. Wrong guy. Unfortunate for Armin, but I'm sure he don't mind that one, because that was a nice move from Gumsy. Getting himself up into fifth there. Gumsy getting straight onto the back of Neutron Storm as well. Oh, Armin just having a bit of a moment as he gets on the power. The rear wheels spin, and it's enough to get a little moment of oversteer going, which means a correction, and then you've lost a bit of time. So Lucky Bucky makes good of that and gets through up into seventh, which is lucky for him, you could say. Neutron Storm side by side with Gumsy. Gumsy through up into fourth now. Good move as well by the look of it. Not an easy corner to get side by side through in on Nurbergring T1. Burnt Fry looks like he's still handling the pressure nicely, but it is the pressure because it's right on his rear bumper. Steer Wheel Racing, good run out of there as well. Burnt Fry already going defensive early to make it clear his intention. Yeah, that was a pretty hectic start. I think I caught the majority of it. With it being an endurance race, you do find people just giving that extra bit of thought to their overtakes and their maybe what might be a late dive in a bit of another race, but yeah, you don't want to pick up any damage. Damage is on as well, if I haven't mentioned that already. I don't think I have. So obviously you don't want to be doing that. Extra time in the pits is never good. Go on, Burnt Fry, lad. Oh, he's a 13, bloody hell, right, saying a 17. Nice. And Armin is his dad, right? So yeah, for the guys I was on about, for the guy I was on about earlier, Neutron is 13 and Armin is his dad. Cool. Little mentoring his son and sim racing. That's cool. I like that. Obviously, there'll be a bit of rivalry between us, between them as well. So it looks like son's taking the bragging rights at the moment between them. Got socks older than that. Oh dear. But anyway, I'm just looking at the chat now. There's too much going on. I'll go back to the action. Oh, Burnt Fry's had a little bit of a moment there, and he's dropped back all of a sudden. Can I catch that? Oh, don't do that to me. Oh, good. I thought he'd completely frozen then. Nope, can't see what happened, unfortunately. Don't know why it just froze then. So yeah, a bit of an unfortunate one for Burnt Fry. He's now in 4th. I don't know why I've just gone all West Country. But yeah, he's still there though. He's well and truly in touch with the podium sitters, sorry. So it's nothing too much to worry about, as we're only 5 minutes into this race and there's plenty of time to get back. There's plenty of time for mistakes in front, as we see Gnarly Pop just running a little bit wide on the gravel there, which has allowed Gumsy to close right up on the rear bumper of him. Both in the same car as well, both in the Mercedes AMG. All Group 3 cars, obviously. Maybe it's not that obvious. But yeah, all Group 3 cars. Should be pretty obvious, it's in the title. Good little battle between these two. Side by side for quite a long time. Plenty of respect and room given from both of the drivers as well. And sensible to do so as well. Like I've already mentioned, still pretty early on in a 50-minute race. You don't want to be risking too much. I used to do hour-long endurance races, and that's what it's all about. It's just consistency. I used to do them every week. And yeah, one mistake can completely ruin your race as well, but so long as it happens early on in the race, you can always have a bit of a comeback. Neutron Storm getting right on the back of this battle now. So it's all kicking off. Burnt Fry's back through. Oh, definitely watch that from Burnt Fry. What was happening here? Oh, so there's some kind of problem with the replay that normally works, but for some reason this time it isn't. So we can't go back and watch any of the little bits that we've missed. But Burnt Fry somehow, I didn't quite catch it, but beautiful job to get back through. Hope there was no contact involved. There is a bit of damage on Gnarly Pop's car, so I'm not sure where that's appeared from, but won't apportion any blame. It looks like Gumsy maybe, because his front bumper's damaged, so them two have possibly got a little bit too aggressive with each other, which is exactly what I was on about. You can get away with some damage on this game. It does lose your lap time though, so Neutron Storm behind on the medium tyre as well, so capable of going for a real long stint here. He's doing really well in 5th position and looking pretty good with the two guys in front of him with damage. Let's go through the field. Sean in 6th, not far off the battle in front, so if he keeps his head down, keeps the laps coming in, we should be able to try and catch up as the guys in front have a little bit of a battle and slow each other down a little bit. There's a little bit of lap time there. Every time someone has a battle in front of you, if you're driving good, well, you're driving really well, there's always a little bit of time to be gained, so there's always that chance of catching up. And look, if you look, Sean ain't far off at all. Armin in 7th. Lucky Bucky following Armin in 8th. We've got Pilgrim Paddy in 9th. All bumping over the last chicane there. You've got to cut that chicane to actually get any kind of time out of the corners. Not cut it, but you've got to really kind of abuse the curbs as much as possible, but without getting a penalty. Damien, oh sorry, I've just passed Pilgrim Paddy in 9th. He's having a good battle. So we're on lap 5 and there's plenty of good action going on. Lucky Bucky got the rear end out there, drifting it, but he did manage to gather it up and collect it quite nicely. NGR Cutler in 10th. He's dropped off the back. He's got a 3.7 second gap in front to Pilgrim Paddy, and then more or less a 3 second gap to the car behind as well. So he's just on his own at the moment. Damien trying his best to get back into this race and get up there. Big Z dropped off at 25 seconds off the leader now, so quite a way off in 12th, and Tiny Tortoise in 13th, 48 seconds off. So he's definitely had a few issues in this race. Not caught any of them, but yeah, one to forget already, I fear. Like I say though, there's always chance in an endurance race. You can always try and get back into it, and credit to him for carrying on as well, because some people would have quitted by this point when you're that far down so early on. So Sturwheel Racing, I don't know if this guy's German, but I keep putting a silly accent on for his name. Anyway, yeah, he's in first place. I get a bit carried away sometimes. Right, let's get back into these messages now. It's calmed down slightly. Yeah, you've had some really good races in the replays I've put up to the CJW. Feel free, anyone as well, if you fancy watching some Group 4 racing, some pretty good races as well. And yeah, one of the guys in the chat, CJW, had 2 really good races, plenty of action from him. But yeah, feel free to go and watch those. Yeah, they were good races, weren't they? Anyway, I can't really start banging on about those. I'm kind of watching this. You guys have a good chat about it though. Look at this now. Burnt Fry and steer wheel. Wheel to wheel. Oh sorry, no, it's Gumza. Guys behind as well, Gnarly Pop, Neutron Storm putting a lot of pressure on the back of Gnarly Pop there in 4th, sorry. He's trying to make that decal on the back of his car come true, is Neutron Storm, and now we all know it's 13. I think we'd all kind of like to see him do it as well. Would be brilliant. He's had some decent races so far, so oh, what's happened to Burnt Fry there? I will go back. I'm going to try the replay again. If it freezes this time, then that's the last time I'll try it. Yeah, oh, I'm really gutted about that. Yeah, so not quite caught what happened to Burnt Fry, but he's yet again dropped back. He's having a bit of a yo-yo race, as I always call it. He keeps climbing up there, getting the slipstream from the guy in front, making a position or two, and then all of a sudden, a bit of an incident, and he's dropped back again. So, a bit unfortunate, but I'm sure he's done it before, so he'll do it again, Burnt Fry, and he'll be coming back through. I'm sorry how fast he was in qualifying, so he's got the pace to be able to do it. A little bit of contact as they both headed into the last chicane, nothing malicious there, just a little bit of rubbing. Neutron Storm in 4th, and yeah, he's not giving Gnarly Pop a chance to relax at all. Let's just jump through again and see what else is going on throughout the field. Burnt Fry got it going again. He's not in too much of a bad position, not too much I can't find the word sometimes to worry about from Sean behind. There is a 1.5 second gap. Harmon in 7th, looking to close down the back of Sean. It'll be interesting in the pit stops, the strategy from the guys, because like I said, they've all got to use, throughout this race, they've all got to use the soft, medium and hard tyre, so depending on when they choose to use it, it will obviously make a hell of a difference to how the pace is in the race and what will happen at the end and all the rest of it. So I'm looking forward to the pit stop window opening and finding out who's really going to have a chance of the race win. It looks like a lot of guys are on mediums, so Sturwheel's in a very strong position. He's in first place. He's got really good tyre wear. He's got more than half a tank of fuel. So yeah, he's not doing too badly at all. We've got Pilgrim Paddy that's just left, so I'm not sure what's happened there, but that's not good. Unfortunate for Pilgrim Paddy, it might have been an internet issue. So yeah, Gums is in a, Sturwheel Racing in a really strong position. He's got an 8.5 second lead as well, so he just needs to keep his cool now, put in the laps, and he's got this race really. It's early to say that, but he's certainly got a very healthy chance of taking the win at this point in the race. Gumsy can still see him on the straight though. That's always gives you that little bit more determination. Look at this battle going on still behind with Gnarly Pop, Neutron Storm. Neutron Storm's got a little bit of pressure again now from Burnt Fry, that's had a few moments and he's coming back through. He was our pole sitter, so he's certainly got the pace, like I just said. A lap or two ago, and we see it now. He's already on the back of the guys in front. Whoa, kick of oversteer from both of the guys then. Yeah, good stuff so far. Oh, Burnt Fry on the hard tyre, and he's obviously struggling a little bit with the rear end of the BMW M6. It's good to watch, the twitching all over the place. So long as we don't see a massive incident, we don't want to see that. We just want to see good racing really, but yeah. You can see these guys are pushing from the attitude of the car. Neutron Storm doing a great job of defending as well. Not making it easy for Burnt Fry. Feels like we could be racing with one of the stars of the future with this Neutron Storm. Carries on the way he's going, 13 years old. Oh, saying that, yeah, just picked up a penalty. But it's not the end of the world, it's only half a second. We'll have to lose that at some point though, before the end of the lap, I believe. I think the rule is in this championship. Feel free and don't forget to hit that like button if you're enjoying it. It always helps me out, massively appreciate it. Can't get my words out tonight, as usual. I need to get better at English. I should have got better at English before I started trying to do commentary. Whoa, so it's all going on for Neutron Storm. And we see Burnt Fry just making his way back through now. Damien in the pits. Coming in. He was on the soft tyre for his opening stint, so will he put much fuel on? He'll have to put a bit of fuel on to get the most out of the medium tyre. Yep, he's taking on fuel. Meanwhile, will Biggsy come through? Oh, excuse me. Oh, I couldn't hold that in, I was trying to, sorry. Biggsy's nowhere near, so he's not going to make that position whilst Damien's in the pits, and Tiny Tortoise is quite a way back as well. So yeah, Damien, one of the first pitters by the look of it. One time he's gone on to that medium, so he's gone on the medium this time. And no doubt he'll be using the hard at the end then. These hard tyres looking at Lucky Buckies, for example, looking pretty good. So not much tyre wear, but they're not the fastest tyre, and obviously as soon as you get quite bad tyre wear on the slowest tyre, then you really feel like you're not going anywhere, and that's when you really notice people closing in on you like 2 seconds, 3 seconds a lap. All of a sudden your tyres have just completely dropped off the cliff, and you've maybe taken it that little bit too far. That's what I find hard on the hard tyre. So that time to judge it where it really does drop off the cliff and you've got no chance all of a sudden. So everyone else is exactly what I'm on about, is the struggle that everyone's kind of got at the moment, when to pit, and obviously in comparison to your competitors that are around you as well, you're kind of led by them. You don't really want to give up the race sometimes. So again, Neutron Storm's back through, and he's in fourth. Gumsy in the pits now from second. Comes in, he's on the soft tyre as well, so again, wouldn't expect anyone on the mediums to be quite coming in yet. Maybe in the next lap or two after this, but not this lap. So yeah, Gumsy comes out of the pits. He's taking on, nope, he hasn't yet. So it's a really long pit stop here. People are dropping a long way down for the pit stops. So Gumsy down in, where is it? I'm skipping around all over the place, sorry. Gumsy in 7th, I couldn't skip to him for some reason. So yeah, he's come out of the pits in 7th. Armin now up into 6th. Doing a good job, Armin, so far. It looks like he's not had too many issues. And good racing. So Sean's having a good consistent race. It's been a pleasure to watch Sean. I watched him last season as well. There's not that many guys in this championship now that were in last season. A few of them, like Cutler and Sean, but not that many. So it's good to see Sean. He was always driving around. I hope he don't mind me saying it. I've said it before, so I hope he don't mind. But he was always driving around roughly towards the back, and he's really improved as the seasons have gone on. So, last season went on, and it's really good to see him battling a lot higher up the field this time round. He's towards the podium through the last couple of races that we've watched. So it's really good to see progress from some of the guys that have been watching for a while. Anyway, I'll go through the order again because I haven't done it for a while, and we're hitting the 20-minute marker, so we're nearly a third of the way through. Sturwheel diving in the pits. So he's the first of our medium tyre pitters, I think. So the guys behind that are still on the mediums and the hard tyres have potentially got the chance to keep this one going. Burnt Fry's tyres are absolutely fine at the moment. Oh, he's pitting there. Feels that he's just losing that much, too much time maybe. So yeah, don't know, that might be a bad mistake from thinking about it. If they're only a third of the way through, so it might need an extra pit stop. But the guys that have stopped quite late, like 17 minutes in on the soft tyre, they're alright because potentially they can get like a lot more time out of the medium and hard to complete the... Oh, sorry, I'm thinking it's an hour long and it isn't. Completely forgotten it's a 50-minute race. Right, I'm going to shut up and actually talk about the race. Keep waffling on. I just confused myself. Sturwheel racing with a 6-second gap now. Good lead. Yeah, we've lost Pilgrim Paddy. Lost the Pilgrim, so unfortunately I'm not sure why. But yeah, he's dropped out. Oh, does it? It says 13 here. I don't have a chance to have a look at all these details, Billy. Alright. No, I'll have a look now. They're probably really obvious now you've mentioned it. In second now. Come on, mate. This is good. I'm cheering him on now. I shouldn't really have any bias or favouritism being the commentator, but to hell with that. Come on, Neutron Storm. Let's get a bloody win here. Be brilliant to see. He's 8 seconds off the leader. He needs the pit stop, so there is. That's the problem. He's maybe not quite as close to getting towards the lead as I thought. Sturwheel Racing's on the fresh tyres, and he's got the 8.5 second lead now. So Neutron Storm will be looking for a pit stop, but certainly a very respectable opening stint to this race. Really well done. Sean as well, just been banging in consistent laps. Steady away and finds himself in third, coming into the pits now. Gumsy goes through for another lap. So Neutron Storm's gone in as well. Armin's in as well. So NGR Armin. And yeah, who else? No, that's it. They're all sitting there getting fuel. Feels like an absolute eternity. Will these guys manage to make up a position because of that? Not quite clear until we get towards the end of the pit straight. The Neutron Storm's back out. He's in 8th position. What's going on there? Sorry, I just completely missed that action. Sean and Damien going at it. Damien in 5th and Sean in 6th. So that's not bad at all after a pit stop. And Sean's on the hard tyre now. Damien on the slightly worn medium tyre. Cutler with a little bit of damage to the rear right suspension. It won't be slowing him down too badly from my experience when you pick up that kind of damage. It's not the end of the world, but certainly not what you want. But yeah, he's on the hard still, and he'll be looking to pit sometime soon. I think the rears look like they're going off. Might become a problem if he leaves it too long. So let's just try and switch up the camera angles a have a look at the gaps between each other and see what's likely to develop into a bit of action sometime soon. Keep an eye on the gaps between the cars as well. But Fry in third now, so again he's had a bit of a yo-yo race. He's back on the podium at this point in time. So everyone just in their own little space on the track now, just trying to get the fast laps in really. Keep it consistent, make no mistakes, or very little mistakes, tiny mistakes if you're going to make any, so they don't lose you massive amount of time. And that's the idea when you're doing this now. You just got to keep focused, concentrating, and try your best to catch that car in front. The aim of the game. Cutler in the pits, coming with his hard tyres. So just skipping through to have a look at everyone. Everyone going pretty well. Oh, he's Tiny Tortoise is going quite a long time on his hards. So we're nearly halfway through the race, and Tiny Tortoise, I think, has only used one set of tyres here. He hasn't put any fuel on if he has changed. So we don't have to. He's potentially not too bad a position tyre-wise, but he's just unfortunately so far back that. Oh, what's happened there? Gnarly Pop's just left the room, and he wasn't doing too badly, so I'm surprised about that. Ooh, wonder what's happened there. The bloody replay won't show me, so I'm just left wondering, and I guess you guys are too. But yeah, Gnarly Pop's just left, and it was having a reasonable race. So that just allows the other guys to gain a position basically, and they all get promoted up a position. Well, this looks like it's pretty good action to watch. We've got Lucky Bucky chasing our little star of the show this time round, Neutron Storm. Got Sean in front with a nice healthy gap away from Neutron. This is the difference there, and then towards the end, who knows what will happen with the different strategies and whatever tyres will be going on and fuel and all the rest of it. It all ends up being a completely different stint again. Just sends it down the inside. Lucky Bucky. I think Neutron Storm went a little bit early on the brakes there, because Lucky Bucky still managed to brake nice and easily, and it looked like he went really late on the brakes, but he got it stopped easily. So I dare say Neutron Storm just a little bit cautious into there. Massive gap now, so Steer Wheel Racing is having a great race here. He's just controlled it more or less from the start. He's got a 15-second lead. It is getting smaller, his lead. It looks like he's short shifting, to be fair though, so saving fuel. You can see and you can hear from the revs, not fully going through the revs and just trying to save that bit of fuel by short shifting every gear. Looks like everyone's at it at this point in the race. Look, short shifting through 5th into 6th. Everyone's doing the same, especially into that corner. So we'll see what's going on with Lucky Bucky and Neutron. Oh, he's dropped off the back a little bit as Neutron, but he's on the hard tyre, so it's no surprise against the medium. See how Cutler's doing. Skip up the cinematic again. Feel like there's a bit of lack of action to watch at the moment, but I find it annoying skipping through all the time as well, so I'll just watch a lap from Steer Wheel Racing. I'll give him a bit of credit and a bit of footage, or whatever the screen time, that's the word, as we spend a lap with him. So Steer Wheel Racing coming into the first corner, heavy on the brakes, turns it in, hooks up that apex perfectly, doesn't unsettle the car as well. It's so easy to do through that first corner as it suddenly drops away at the apex. Just nice and calm driving here. His nose has got that lead, 16 seconds, don't want to make any silly mistakes, so watching someone in control of the race here and just driving sensibly but also still putting in a reasonable pace. fastest lap as well is his steer wheels, so a 155.996, the fastest lap so far. We might see that improving towards the end with low fuel and soft tyres from some of the guys, but yeah, he's the current holder of the fastest lap. It is playing around a little bit, Billy. It's unpredictable sometimes, and it makes it even more. Yeah, it's not that easy doing commentary, believe it or not, and it makes it even more difficult when you don't know what's going on because the game's played up. Oh, I don't know why. I've meant to be spending a lap on board with him, and I've just gone off him. Sorry about that. Coming towards the last chicane now, arguably one of the trickier corners on the track. That was fired down the gears like an AK-47. Like I say, good comfortable lap there. Not pushing it too hard. 1.6 down on his fastest in the end, but like I say, don't need to do anything too special, just needs to monitor that gap and keep it nice and safe really. Burnt Fry close to the back of Gumsy now, only just a second behind, so he's not far off picking up the slipstream if he won't already. Gumsy's aware of that, so he pulls over to the right hand side to break the slipstream as best he can, then pulls back over to obviously take the racing line in the braking zone. Cone on the track there, don't know where that's come from. Someone's obviously had a bit of a moment with the cones. Sean's got a little bit of company now from Lucky Bucket. Not a massive gap between them, less than a second. And Lucky Bucket's closing it down incredibly quickly as well. Down to 6 tenths. To be honest, I was expecting a few more incidents around here because it's not always the easiest track to keep concentration on. It is one that if you have a little mistake it can bite you big time, so really good driving and good consistency from everyone tonight, I must say. There's obviously been a couple of incidents here and there that have been unfortunate for people, and there always will be, but in general it seems like everyone's been pretty good. Neutron Storm, I'm hoping he's still going to come good with his strategy. He's on the hard tyre, but he's in 8th. But I think, yeah, he has saved the soft tyre till the end, so he needs to calculate it right and get the pit stop time right, and he's potentially back up there fighting towards the top again. So just keep jumping between the action really and the battles. We go on board with Lucky Bucky as we actually watch him chase down Sean. Just under a second the gap now. It was just over a second at the beginning of this lap, so he's managed to claw 2 tenths off him. 3 tenths as we come out of the last chicane there, so he's definitely 4 tenths now. So Lucky Bucky, oh, just lost it a little bit on the exit there. Definitely gaining on Sean though. Slowly but surely. Ooh, a little bit of a correction, saw him go a little bit wider than he probably intended. He needs to just claw that extra little bit of pace out of his car so he gets well and truly in the slipstream, and then obviously you get a lot of help to try and overtake Glenn. Still short shifting and saving fuel, these guys. There is potential possibly for these guys to actually catch each other a bit faster than they are doing, but obviously they've got to consider the fuel and the tyres and everything else, and build that into the equation as well. But yeah, could certainly be going a little bit faster, some of these guys. But that's the nature of an endurance race. You've got to think about saving fuel and all the rest of it. Gumsy heading to the pits now from 3rd position. Burnt Fry just going through in 2nd. So Burnt Fry's got a good chance of finishing this race well, but I think Sturwheel's done enough to personally. I think he's done enough already, unless he has a big incident somewhere. He's got a hell of a lead. It's up to 17 seconds now. Gumsy's dropping down as he's sat in the pits. Where's he going to come out? In 4th in the end? Nope, he's in 3rd. Classic Gran Turismo again. Oh, just warms up the tyres nicely. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure that's what he was doing there through the first corner. Just getting those tyres warmed up by losing the rear end. He comes out and he's actually got quite comfortable, a lot more comfortable than I thought he was going to be, gap over Damien. So not much going on there for the time being. Let's see what else is going on further back. Lucky Bucky in 6th, still trying his hardest to stick on the back of Sean in front. Lucky Bucky must be looking for a pit stop soon, get those soft tyres on and actually make the most of them towards the end. I'm assuming he's going on to softs. Judging by why has it just said that? Just had the message come up and that's annoying. Anyway, yeah, judging by his tyre wear, I think he'll probably be going on to the softs. Sorry, skipping through like a maniac again. Neutron Storm all on his own now, having a lonely one. Cutler's, you can see him in the distance, but he's having a lonely one as well. Armin's on the charge though in 9th position, looking to get 8th off Cutler in front, if that's all possible. So we're going to see the 2nd round of pit stops happening roughly now. We've already seen one last lap from Gumsy, and there we see it again, Burnt Fry in the pits now. Got a reasonable amount of fuel as Burnt Fry, so all that fuel saving has done these guys quite well. He's got 19 litres left, so he doesn't have to put that much in the pit stop. Give everyone a little bit of coverage. The guys towards the back, sometimes because there's not a lot of action going on, we don't really see much of them, so just pop in on everyone every now and again and see what they're up to. Tiny Tortoise in 11th is 316 is Steve Austin. It's a full Steve Austin behind the leader, so yeah, that's a lot of time behind, but that's the way his race has gone. Hopefully he'll stick with the championship, and we'll see a bit of a short story and watch him improve as the championship goes on. He seems determined to stick with it, so I credit to him. Tiny Tortoise, fair play. A lot of people wouldn't carry on. We've already seen a few people quit and they were higher up, so there you go, that's a fine example. But assuming they've quit, I never really know. It could be the internet, that thing called the internet. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a bit of a knob sometimes. Sturwheel now, it's his turn to jump in the pits as we see Burnt Fry just driving past Gumsy. Looked like Gumsy actually let him pass then. I think he probably did actually, just realising that Burnt Fry's in a bit of a different race with the strategy, as Gumsy is now on his hard tyre towards the end. Just over 10 minutes left, well just over 12 minutes left if I'm going to be a little slightly more accurate. So yeah, he's got a 12-minute stint on the hard tyre now, Gumsy. Hopefully he doesn't see himself dropping too much time, because he's got a 14-second gap to Lucky Bucky behind, but as we well know, these tyres make a hell of a difference in Gran Turismo Sport, so we could see that gap reduced quite drastically. Lucky Bucky diving in the pits from 4th. Damien definitely up into fourth now. He's just looking for his last stint on the soft tyre. So good, he's in a good position now. This is where we start working out who's actually going to be towards the top with these final pit stops. So some of the guys that were slightly further back, like Neutron Storm again, he was in 8th position not so long ago, but he's now in 6th as the pit stops are working their way out. Still with nice fresh hard tyres. Cutler doing a similar thing, using the softs towards the end, and looks like he's been on them for a lap or two. Picked up a little bit of wear, but nothing too much to worry about in the Audi R8. Setting personal best sector times as well, which is always good. Stick on board with steer wheel for the time being, see how he goes for the last corner, just to keep dropping in on him and checking on his gap. So he's got it up to 22.8 seconds now, near enough 23 seconds. So that is well and truly a safe lead. But it is racing, anything can happen. He's got to keep his cool and keep his concentration as well. It's a long race, is this, and strange things do happen towards the end of these races. I know from my own experience. Oh, Gumsy playing with the curbs a little bit there. Risky business. Obviously you can use the curbs, but you've got to be careful. Just give you an increased chance of losing it. Massive gaps between everyone again. We see a Neutron Storm in the pits, so I thought he'd go to the end, so he's left his last pit stop late, but I guess he'll have really quite fresh tyres all the way to the end now. So we'll see how it all plays out. I thought all the pit stops had kind of happened, but still a couple of the guys to come in maybe. Armin in as well. I think these two being father and son, they've definitely worked out the strategy. I've noticed the pit on the same lap every time. They've probably been doing a bit of practice and or quite a lot of practice, I imagine, and working out what laps to come in and pit on. What's the fastest way of running the race, basically. Skipping through again and seeing what everyone's up to. Can't miss this car coming, can you? I think it looks great though. I think it's inspired me to do a pink livery at some point. It looks really good. Sean doing a cracking job in 6th at the moment. Half a second penalty though, he needs to lose that at some point. Big gap between Sean and Cutler though, more or less 10 seconds. A lot of work to be done if there's any positions to be changed at the end of this race now. The gaps are really quite big between the guys. Damien's got Cutler behind him with near enough a 5-second gap, and then Gumsy in front with a 10-second gap. So yeah, no one's really battling for position here, unless there's a big incident or there's some kind of weird strategy going on that I haven't quite spotted. Oh, nice from Gr3. Same purple sectors. Oh, seeing that. Pushing it a little bit too hard maybe. Ends up on the grass. Ooh, got dirty tyres and gathers it up nicely. But yeah, not the best. Obviously no pressure from behind, so not the worst moment in the world. So long as he manages to keep it going without too much drama. So 1:54.507 now our fastest lap from Gr3, and that's considerably faster than what we saw from Steer Wheel Racing. Can't remember the exact time, but it's at least half a second faster. So great job there from Gr3. I say that with conviction, it might not be half a second faster, I think it was, just from memory. So yeah, Coming towards the last 6.5 minutes, sorry. Now, so everyone just looking to consolidate their position. I'm losing. I've been on for too long here. I've done 2 race replays before I've done this stream. I need to give my mouth a bit of a rest. I'm losing the ability to be able to talk. And I was waffling on for ages to our lads earlier about all this coronavirus and stuff. It's been quite a chatty day. Those that might have only just joined this week and haven't watched the previous races, if you've enjoyed this, feel free to go back on my YouTube channel, the one you're watching right now, and the previous 2 rounds are up. The first round was an endurance race, the second round was 2 sprint races, so it's a bit mixed up is this championship for that, and it keeps it interesting. So there's 3 races altogether to watch over 2 rounds, and then obviously this one. But yeah, there's been some great racing so far. I dare say, I don't like saying it, but this has been the most boring race so far. It's been not a great deal of action, apart from the beginning little stint to the race, and the pit stops have provided us with a little bit of action, but the gaps are just so big between people now, there's not a lot going on. And that's the way it goes sometimes. Not every race is the best race in the world. Obviously, you can only really have one best race. You know what I mean. I'm losing the plot here. Let's go through again just before we get towards the very last couple of laps and give everyone a little bit of a showing, and then we'll start watching the guys towards the top as they round out the race. Damien in 4th. Good respectable results from what I've seen from the previous races and what I'm seeing now from some of these guys, so they can be proud of themselves for this endurance race. Like I say, it's not the easiest track to stick at for 50 minutes and keep it rather incident free. Again, I'll just get it in there before the end as well. This championship sponsored by Team Oliver Racing and Excite Energy Drinks. Go check them out. They've got Facebook groups, Facebook pages, and obviously probably websites. Team Oliver Racing are a truck racing team as well. I keep mentioning it because I'm hoping for an invite one day to go and watch them. I'd love to go and watch a bit of truck racing one day and potentially get in the garage and see the trucks and all that kind of stuff. Be even better if someone gave me a chance to actually drive one. And I like to think I'm a good driver, not just, well, I like to think I'm a good driver at sim racing. People might disagree with that, but I like to think I'm a better driver in real life, to be honest. I would like the opportunity, if anyone out there is watching, you never know, I shouldn't be saying this, but if someone is watching and you've got the opportunity to give me a drive, at least a little practice session in something, then feel free to get in touch with me, because I will definitely bite your hand off. I love my track days and stuff. Bit of a long shot there, but you never know. Look at this now. Sean Unlucky Book Day must have been listening, and they've decided to give us a little bit of action to watch towards the end of this one, so less than half a second in it for 6th position. Could Sean hold him off for the last couple of laps here and keep that 6th? Lucky Bucky's obviously going to try his hardest to get it off him, but he hasn't got long to do it. So as these guys will come over the line after coming through the last chicane here, they'll actually be on the last lap. Not sure about the guys ahead, they might manage another one, but these guys are going to be on the last lap when they come over the line now. you're doing a good job so far, Sean. Just keeping it steady, not worrying too much about him behind by the look of it, not forcing, he's not having to go defensive yet, so it's not too big a deal, but he's got to be slightly concerned, and he's certainly aware that he's there. Again, he's got enough of a gap to not worry about having to go defensive. I don't know if Lucky Bucky's actually going to have the tyres to be able to do this, but he's obviously going to try. Ooh, bit of a penalty there from Sean, he still needs to get rid of. I didn't quite notice, so that might make a difference depending on how close Lucky Bucky can keep this to him, because I think if you finish with any penalty you get a second added on, so even though he might come over the line with a 10th that we see there as his penalty, it will actually give him a second penalty. Not a second penalty as in 2 penalties, as in 1 second worth of penalty if he comes over the line with that, which will mean that Lucky Bucky will actually gain 6th. He needs to lose that penalty here. Sean's vulnerable. Anyway, meanwhile, we've still got races going on elsewhere. Let's just quickly skip through. I do apologise for all the skipping through. Just been trying to find the action most of the night. So Steer Wheel's onto his last lap as well now. So there we go, Gumsy and Damien, the first ones to finish in 3rd and 4th. So good result there from Gumsy, puts it on the final step of the podium, and Damien can certainly be proud of that one in 4th as well. Looked like a really good race there from Damien, credit to him. Cutler with a similar race, not a bad result at all there for Cutler in 5th, Lucky Bucky in 6th, Sean brings it home in 7th, so Lucky Bucky did get past in the end. Neutron Storm in 8th. Armin looks like he's going to bring it home in 9th. We've already got Bigsy crossed over the line on the previous lap, and Tiny Tortoise still going in 11th. We'll watch Armin, and then we'll jump up to Steerwheel and Burnt Fry, our leaders. So Steerwheel finishing off this race in style with a 12-second lead still. So really good job to Steerwheel. If you watch this, mate, congratulations. That's a good one. And obviously if you don't watch it you won't hear that, so I don't know why I said if you watch this, you know what I mean. So there we go, see him coming through the last chicane, 1 more corner to go, and he manages nicely to bring it over the line. Does lose a little bit of his massive lead as he just brings it home nice and safely. It's at just over 11 seconds in the end. And then finally we've got in 2nd position finishing NGR Burnt Fry. So that is the end of that. That was quite good. A little bit boring at times, but certainly some good action towards the beginning, and some good action with people chasing each other down. Just didn't quite work out the whole time. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Not a lot else to say other than congratulations to the guys there for another good race, really. Thank you for joining me, those that have done, and in the chat, thank you very much, Push Gamer. Yeah, unfortunately not quite making it in the end. Oh, well, yeah, he had a good finishing result, but not quite making it to the podium. Nice racing. Oh, did he? I've already forgotten. Let me just have a quick look. I have so much going on whilst I'm doing this, it is hard to actually remember exactly what's happened. So Damien in 4th in the end. Yeah, they're the results if you're interested. Nice racing, brother. Yeah, it was some good racing there. I think yeah, it's definitely a good league, is this. There's some good drivers, really good drivers in here. There's also a pro league as well, so there's guys that are arguably faster than what you're watching here, but there's certainly a good standard of driving in this lobby, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be the commentator for it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Cheers again for joining me. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff, make me look better than I am, and yeah, take care. See you again, guys and girls, and hopefully stay safe. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you again next week. I'm losing my thread. I really have been talking too much today. Yeah, stay safe. See you again next week, hopefully. And yeah, I've been ADG. Take care. Bye for now.